You mentioned that you have some tips to share about video marketing. What are those tips? I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to provide one with a twist. And this is a perfect example of collaborating with many advisors on a daily basis, right? So I can't even take credit for this, or maybe I can take 1% credit, but this is just a collaboration of a bunch of advisors getting together and talking about what's working and what's not working. So this really has to do with video marketing. And as you know, data is king. So if you know the patterns to win the game, we just need to stack the odds in our favor. It's really that simple. And probably the best analogy I can give is a casino. You know, every casino out there has a built-in advantage known as the house edge. Their odds of winning are a fraction better than ours, but that tiny fraction, James, ends up being millions of dollars in profits. So since we already know that a tiny fraction makes all the difference over time, let's equate that into what we do as financial advisors. So most advisors, their prospecting strategy can be summed up in 3 words: one and done. That's a
That's
fact.
good. Yeah.
I've even seen statistics. I can't remember where I saw that, but I saw a statistic somewhere just recently that showed that 60% of advisors don't even make the calls that they pay for. So they actually pay a lead gen company, and 60% of them don't even make the calls. Like, that to me is unbelievable. So when you look at the actual data, 2% of cold calls result in an appointment, of which only one, as we know, is going to show. So effectively, if you're a financial advisor and you're cold calling, and cold calling could mean a lot of things. It doesn't mean you're calling people out of a phone book. I'm showing my age now too. But 100 calls, 1 appointment, not likely to keep going long term, nor should they. I think it's a ridiculous way to build your business. But if you look at 2007, it took 3.68 call attempts to reach a prospect. Today, it's 8. So it's doubled in, what's that, 5 years, 6 years? On top of that, almost half, 44%, give up after just 1 call, which I mentioned before, just 1 and done. It's insane. How can you possibly be successful with those types of odds against you? So now, how do we shift the odds back into our favor? Well, the fortune is in the follow-up. By making just a few more attempts, we boost our conversion rates by 70%, according to the data. And the sweet spot as to number of calls that you have to make to actually reach that prospect is 8 to 12. Most people quit well before 8 to 12. Many of them are 1 and done, 2 or 3 max, and they check out. If we know that 8 to 12 calls is the sweet spot, don't even think about putting them on a drip campaign until after the 10th call. That's not me saying it. That's the data saying it. You are far better off making 10 calls to 10 people than you are making 1 call to 100 different people. Same 100 calls, same work, far greater results. Put the odds in your favor. You may actually get a hold of somebody, or you make the call and you don't get a hold of somebody. Most financial advisors won't even leave a voicemail. And do you want to know why? Because they know the odds of them getting a return call is near 0, so they won't even bother. So here's your house edge tip, right? Instead of leaving a voice message, instead create an audio file on your phone and then text them that audio file along with a brief note. Something simple. Didn't catch you on the phone, but wanted to introduce myself. They are far more likely to listen to that message. And I'm going to give you an even better one, which we've just started using, and it's working extremely well. So this is kind of like a house edge on steroids. Exact same message that you would have sent anyways on their voicemail or through that audio file. Now you create a personalized 10-second video. So, and I fully admit right now it's anecdotal because I've only been doing this with a handful of advisors, but the open rates on that video is near 100%.
I can
you
imagine.
heard me
yeah.
right. It is near 100%. So you went from leaving 100 voicemails and maybe getting a 5% open rate to almost a 100% open rate by saying the exact same message, but sending it through a video. But the important thing is this, James, it has to be personalized. So you mentioned the name, so they recognize that it's not just a cookie cutter video. And this is the best part. Loom, BombBomb, Dubb, there are tons of free applications out there that you can actually use to make this happen.